Want to know what's worse than heartbreak? It's when your favorite show gets canceled without a conclusive plot ending. We all remember how popular series like Lucifer, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and most recently Manifest were brought back after cancellation. These shows moved to a new home after getting chopped, allowing their popularity to grow even more than it was in the past. So in this video, let's look at some shows that survived after cancellation. First up at number 12, Manifest. NBC's supernatural drama Manifest is finally a smash hit after Netflix saved it from cancellation. The series originally ran for 3 seasons on NBC and was added to Netflix shortly before it was canceled. It ended up drawing such good ratings for the streaming giant that they saw fit to bring it back for another season, the first part of which premiered this year on November 4th and ended up bringing in an impressive 57 million views over the course of its first weekend, moving it to the number 1 spot on Netflix's top 10. Manifest centers on a group of passengers on a plane which mysteriously disappears for more than 5.5 years, during which time they're presumed dead. When the plane lands on the tarmac, the world is shocked to learn the group hasn't aged a bit and has no recollection of where they were for the past half a decade. The series features Josh Dallas, Melissa Roxburgh, and Parveen Kaur in its ensemble cast. Following up at number 11, The Expanse. The Expanse was a sci-fi show about a human colony in outer space that ran for 3 seasons on Sci-Fi before it was canceled, but fans were outraged over the series' abrupt ending, and even huge celebrities like George R.R. Martin and Will Wheaton all supported calls for renewal. Ultimately, Amazon came to save the show from an early death thanks to the #SaveTheExpanse campaign, which garnered almost 100,000 signatures and saw fans hire a plane to fly the campaign message around the Amazon Studios headquarters. Shohreh Aghdashloo, Thomas Jane, Dominique Tipper, and Steven Strait were among those headlining the show. The series went on to last for 3 more seasons on Prime Video. With Amazon budgeting the production, it got major upgrades in the production and scope of the storytelling. Coming up at number 10, Lucifer. The devil might not have come to help Lucifer when it was canceled by Fox, but Netflix certainly did. Starring Tom Ellis in the lead role, the urban fantasy saw Lucifer Morningstar come to Earth and assist the LAPD while running a club called Lux in LA. He worked closely with Detective Chloe Decker, portrayed by Lauren German. After learning that she wasn't susceptible to his powers, the show also featured Inbar Lavi, D.B. Woodside, Tom Welling, and Leslie Ann Brandt. The DC comic adaptation ran for 3 seasons to waning viewership on Fox before it was ultimately cut from its lineup. The #SaveLucifer campaign quickly moved into high gear, prompting Netflix to pick it up for a 4th season. This proved to be a good gambit for the streaming service as the series enjoyed high viewership numbers across the board until the series ended back in 2021. Moving on to number 9, Cougar Town. Kevin Beagle and Bill Lawrence created the Abed Nadir-led ABC sitcom Cougar Town, starring Courtney Cox and numerous other talented comic actors. The series followed Cox's character in the aftermath of her divorce as she got her life back together. The series ran for 3 seasons on ABC before it was axed, but cable network TBS saw fit to bring the show back for 3 more seasons. Lasting from 2009 to 2013, the show was able to carry its cult following till the end. Next up at number 8, You. Another roaring success on Netflix is the stalker thriller drama You. This psychological thriller is based on a series of books by author Caroline Kepnes and centers on Joe Goldberg, played by Penn Badgley, a likable bookshop clerk with a deranged idea of what love really is. The series serves as a cautionary tale for romance in the digital age, but it is told with a hint of satire. The tongue-in-cheek humor definitely helps lighten the tone of the series when it gets too dark. The show has proven to be a big hit for Netflix, with the first season racking up 40 million views in the first 4 weeks alone. The audience for the show has only grown since then, and the series is set to debut its 4th season in February of 2023. You initially premiered on Lifetime Network, where it was renewed for a 2nd season even before it aired due to its strong reviews, but once it failed to strike a chord with the Lifetime audience, it found a new home on Netflix, where it has since become one of the flagship shows of the streaming service. Coming in at number 7, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Fox's popular sitcom Brooklyn Nine-Nine never quite made sense on their roster, given how different the series' tone was from the other content the network had. Though it had a crossover with the fellow Fox show New Girl, it always more closely resembled NBC's comedy lineup. So it makes sense that when Fox canceled the comedy show, NBC was ready to save the series for 3 more seasons, featuring the likes of Andy Samberg, Stephanie Beatriz, Chelsea Peretti, Terry Crews, Joe Latruglio, Melissa Fumero, and Andre Braugher, the series had 8 stellar seasons and remains one of the more wholesome sitcoms of the past decade. Following up at number 6, Arrested Development. Another critically acclaimed Fox property which was cancelled and then later brought back to life was the Mitchell Hurwitz sitcom Arrested Development, featuring an all-star lineup that includes Jeffrey Tambor, Jessica Walters, Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, David Cross, Michael Cera, Aaliyah Shawkat, and Tony Hale. The show ran for 3 years from 2003 to 2006 on Fox to modest ratings. Still, the series was much lauded. It earned a spot on many best of the decade lists and still maintains a cult following. It's no surprise that long after its cancellation, Netflix bought the rights and produced 2 more seasons that released in 2013 and 2018/19. Not to mention, at number 5, All Rise. CBS's All Rise revolved around the personal and professional life of the newly appointed Judge Lola Carmichael, played by Simone Missick. Other actors in the show include Wilson Bethel, J. Alex Brinson, and Jessica Camacho. After 2 seasons on the network, the legal drama was cancelled. There was also quite a lot of upheaval behind the scenes, with the series showrunner Greg Spottiswoode investigated and fired for misconduct allegations. However, Oprah Winfrey's OWN network saw it fit to revive the show for a 3rd season, which premiered in 2022. There's no word yet on whether the show will continue for a 4th season or if this would be the end of the road for Judge Carmichael. Coming up at number 4, Girls 5 Eva. Creator Meredith Scardino, who was also the mastermind behind The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, created Girls 5 Eva for NBC's streaming service Peacock, where the show streamed for 2 seasons. It came as a surprise to fans of the series when, just this past month, it was announced that the 3rd season would debut on a different streamer, but then again it makes perfect sense for Netflix to have swept in and saved the day. The tone of the series is quite similar to Schmidt's, which was executive produced by Tina Fey, just like Girls 5 Eva. Plus, there's plenty of comedic nuggets to mine from an all-star roster featuring Sarah Bareilles, Busy Phillips, Renee Elise Goldsberry, and Paula Pell. The premise of the series follows 4 former girl group members who reunite after 20 years to make music again. Next up at number 3 is Timeless. Timeless is that rare show to have been cancelled twice. The series ran initially in 2016 for a single season before it was cancelled, but following further negotiations with Sony Television, which produced the series, the show came back for a 2nd season. When NBC cancelled it again, the fans' social media protest resulted in a TV film which helped showrunners Sean Ryan and Eric Kripke tie up loose ends. The sci-fi drama featured a race against time when a soldier, played by Matt Cantor, a history professor portrayed by Abigail Spencer, and Malcolm Barrett's character all worked together to retrieve a stolen time machine. Considering Kripke went on to make his hit TV show The Boys after this, bringing along Timeless star Claudia Doumit, perhaps Timeless finally closing up shop for good wasn't the worst thing that could have possibly happened after all. Following up at number 2, we've got Designated Survivor. This political drama enjoyed strong ratings when it first premiered on ABC back in 2017, but the show was shuttered by the network after just 2 seasons. Starring Kiefer Sutherland in the main role, the series dealt with the repercussions of a deadly attack on the Capitol building that resulted in the death of everyone but the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Sutherland's character Kirkman was then anointed as the US president and was tasked with leading the country in uncertain times. Netflix renewed the political drama for 10 more episodes before actors' contracts made it unfeasible for the streaming service to continue any longer. Ultimately, the show was cancelled again in 2019. Finally, at number 1, we've got Community. 6 seasons in a movie was the rallying slogan of Danny Pudi's character Abed, and against all odds, it somehow came true. From the moment it premiered, Community really had been that scrappy little series that could. The Dan Harmon created sitcom premiered on NBC in 2009 before it was cancelled and brought back to life on Yahoo Screen, of all places, for its final run. The show featured a ragtag group of community college students who became close to one another through their Spanish study group. The cast included Pudi, Allison Brie, Joel McHale, Donald Glover, Jillian Jacobs, Yvette Nicole Brown, Ken Jeong, and Chevy Chase. Recently, it's been announced that a new Community film is planned for NBC service Peacock, putting to bed several years of speculation and development. While the full cast isn't on board to return, with Chase likely not invited back and Glover being too busy, Harmon is expected to direct, which will most likely ensure that the movie will be as good a time as the show was. And that's a wrap for this video. Which canceled show from our list is your favorite? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.